Hi there. Welcome to another one of my Own Your Expertise interviews. I'm Emily Crookston, owner and decider of all things at the Pocket PhD. I'm the ghostwriter for Rebels, Renegades, and Mavericks, and I love helping experts with big ideas get their ideas out of their heads and into the hands of their fans. Today, I'm sitting down with Leanne Knight. Leanne is the owner of Authentic Vision Media, which offers graphic design services for purpose-driven entrepreneurs with a message to share. Leanne, thanks for speaking with me. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about who you work with and what you do?
Yes. Hi. Thanks for having me, Emily. So happy to be here. So with Authentic Vision Media, I have really over the past couple of years focused on graphic design for social media. So one of my big popular offers right now is I make custom made branded Canva templates for people. So a lot of times this is coaches or some sort of thought leader in whatever industry come to me and they are tired of their graphics looking like everybody else's and using just the templates that are already in Canva that everyone's already using. So they come to me and I make them custom to their brand and colors and custom to their needs, whether that be for Instagram or Pinterest or whatever it is. And the other thing that I do is I work with clients on a monthly basis, creating all of their content, all of their graphics for social media on a monthly basis. So they come to me with their plan. They have a message to share. Maybe they have a group program or maybe they need workbooks to give to their students. And they come to me and I create all of that on a monthly basis. So that's what I do. It's really best to come to me when you already have your logo and branding figured out. But I've had some earlier people that they're ready to look to really set themselves apart on Instagram or whatever. And so they're maybe not sure, but then I have a clients too, that's like, they've already been posting. They're just not really proud of what it looks like. They're already established and they don't need to hire a graphic designer on a regular basis, but they want to make sure that what they're posting is already like pre-approved, like already carefully thought out by a designer to make sure that they, it's true to their brand and setting them apart online.
Oh, that's so great. That's so cool when you stumble on stuff like that. How would you describe your path to becoming an expert?
Oh, it was a long and winding road.
Yep.
When the pandemic happened in 2020, I was like stuck at home sitting in my hammock and I was like, what am I going to do? I'm like, there's gotta be something. And I had a secret, like dream to make money from working at home. I was like, there's gotta be a way so that then I could, maybe travel more or just be less tied to living close to Boston so that I could work all the events.
Right.
So I kind of just took one step at a time. All of these pieces really were important to me. So I just started learning. So I bought a course and started learning, bought another course and started learning. I put structure on myself of like, I'm going to put an hour or two into this every single day. That's the kind of person I am sometimes. Sure. And then in around like August of 2020, one of the things that really helped and set me on the right path was that I found somebody that was doing a mentorship for social media managers. Mm-hmm. I think she's great and I rave about her all the time. Her name is Andrea Jones. She had this mentorship and it just felt right. I was like, this is exactly what I need. With that mentorship, I finally got my first couple of clients from Upwork. So I was like, finally, I was like, I'm doing it now. Someone's depending on me for something. I'm not just like putting myself in school.
Right.
Yeah. And then from there, I learned more and I grew, I networked, I met a lot of great people in that mentorship, joined some other groups. And one of the biggest things that I learned from that mentorship was that she was like, whatever your strength is, lean into that. Don't think I'm a social media manager, so that means I have to do all these things that everyone else is doing. Like I need to do email marketing too, or I need to do ads too. She's like, whatever is your thing that you're good at, lead with that because there's a client out there that's looking for exactly that. And so I started leading with the graphic design part and then eventually realized I didn't like planning social media. I didn't really like caption writing. I gave myself permission to stop being a social media manager and lead with the social media graphics part because that was a part of graphic design that's fun for me. And that's a part of social media that's fun for me is the graphics for it.
So when I started my business, I was in my mid to late 30s. And I always think like, man, could I have started this business right after college, could I have started this in my early 20s? And I think I would have felt the same way you described as, oh, I would be so self-conscious about, do I really know what I'm doing? Like, who would hire me to really do this writing? How do you prove your chops when you're brand new at something? And I think
Yeah.
that feeling didn't exactly go away when I, started my business at the age of 37 or whatever it was. But I think there's like more confidence in general helps with starting a business. And I think where you found your confidence was in that mentorship with Andrea. And, it's so refreshing to hear someone say, just lean into your strengths. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Yeah. And I think this really relates to the next question, which is what has helped you the most in learning to own your expertise? Because I think what you're talking about is just this.
Yeah. This is something I have been thinking about a lot, in the past couple of weeks. It's come up with my coach and stuff about imposter syndrome, where I'm like, well, I don't know, so much. And she's like, you do know. I'm like, I don't know. That's true. And going back and forth about that. And I think a big thing for me, and I feel like self-conscious saying this, like, and I said this to you secretly, that I don't want to say like, oh, just don't care what anyone thinks, because it really does matter what people think. And when I'm making, when I am making graphics for a client and they're thrilled with it and they say things like, this represents me perfectly. Like, how did you read my mind? Or like, this is what I had in mind and even but better. And stuff like that helps me to realize that I am bringing a different perspective. I'm not just another person using Canva because it's so accessible. I have some sort of intuition about it and training, but I am seeing it differently and bringing a fresh eye to it. And because I know how important it is for the text and for the message to be clear, I'm bringing that to everything that I do. And so it is showing up in everything that I create. And then people are saying like, wow, that was beautiful. Or like, this, represents me so well, because that's another part of it, is not just the message clarity, but not blending into everybody else and not just using the easy tools that are there for everybody, which is fine for most people. But when you're ready to stand out, that's not going to work for you anymore.
What you're saying is it's that perspective that you have that other people don't have. And it's so easy to overlook that, because like in your mind, you're kind of a natural at that. Like you just kind of see it and right? And so it's like, that's not a skill. But when other people don't have that natural ability, it becomes a really valuable skill that you can give to other people. And it counts as expertise, and I just love the way you're describing that, because that is that moment of saying, actually, I don't really care what other people think, because I know that I have this perspective and they might not. I don't know if they have this perspective, right? So why would I take into account their advice, or why would I care about their advice?
I mean, like, it's taken being asked that question for me to be like, how do I own my expertise really? Like, and also this, battle with imposter syndrome, that it's so easy to say, well, I don't really know. Like, what do I know? It's so easy to fall into that. And then realize that like, you do have a perspective that is unique to anyone else. And maybe someone could do it better, or maybe they just do it the same as you even, but still no one's doing it. No one's you. No one's really doing it your way. Right. So you bring a unique perspective, and it makes a difference.
Absolutely. Awesome. Oh, Leanne, I've really enjoyed this conversation. Why don't you tell people where they can find you online?
Yeah. So as you might have picked up, my favorite place to hang out is Instagram. So you can find me at instagram.com/authentic.vision.media. And I'm posting there all the time. And you can also check out what I have to offer on my website, which is authenticvisionmedia.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Leanne.
All right. Thank you so much.